Hello everybody and welcome to Art Classes My Way, where you tell me what you want to learn and I make a video on it. So here is video 2 of doing corners on cabochons and such, and whatever focal stones you happen to be wanting to use. This is for mostly sharp corners. And so I went ahead and hammered this guy out into the shapes that I wanted, a little bit more Art Nouveau style. And it's just these first two here. Whoop, let go. It's just the first two sets of wires that are the going to be on top. This wire is going to be doing a very large majority of the holding, and this wire in the back is what's going to be holding the back part on. And I still might do some decorative swoops with that as well. So I'm going to just go ahead and slide this guy in here and make sure he fits the way I want him to, and indeed he does. Now once I get him all figured out 100%, it's all going to look a lot tighter in the end. But see, it's mostly that guy there. So, let's see, this guy's raised a little bit more than I want him to be. And because this isn't a real stone, this is polymer clay that I've glossed and such. Bit of a failed experiment on that one, but it's still a really pretty little block, so I decided to go ahead and use it anyway for something else. Alright, and there's that. And I want to angle. Now, I'm bending these guys slightly backwards so that way they come around to the side more where I want them to go. Alright. I want this guy on the corner. So you can see as we progress further along, he's going to look really nice, really Art Nouveau style. And I do love the Art Nouveau time period, so that always makes me happy when a plan comes together, you know? So I'm going to have to change these bends to be a little further down, so I'll pop him out, straighten this corner up, which just taking the flat nose, and squish, squish. There we are. And I'll get them a little bit further down, probably about here. And by using the flat nose to bend these, you get a nicer corner. I went too far. And nope. There we go. Okay. There we go. So I'm getting pretty happy with that. Now you can see what he looks like on the sides here. Not a whole lot of support on the back so far, but these two are going to be wired together, and he is going to be wired with these three. The three of these on top will be all wired together, but these two will be all by themselves on the side here. These guys will be pretty much just wired along the top here, and then this guy is going to go along in the back and come up around the front. So let's get our vague shape going, and all I'm doing, as you can see from the very beginning of the video that I showed you guys how to get started, I just bent them up around where this piece is, or the lassoing pretty much is what it amounts to. and just bent them around, and that's the end pieces. Remember, give it a wrap of at least 3 goes around. We can trim him later to make him a little smoother, so don't worry about that. And bend. So despite the fact that it may not seem very stable all the way around, this guy is what's going to make the world go round. It's a lot of wires to kind of keep track of. And because this isn't a real stone, once I get done, I can take this guy and give him a few taps on the bench block, and it's not going to do anything to it. There's nothing to break because it's plastic. And if it does, well, then lesson learned on my part. But been experimenting with this polymer clay stuff. It's too much fun, I tell you what. Okay, so won't worry about that one right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and lasso these guys together. And you out my way. 1, yep, and a tangle. 2. And 3. Then out of my way, guys. Yep, out of my way. And around the body. And then you just go around. You can do a pattern here. There's not too terribly many patterns that can be done with just 2 wires. You guys behave. Come on. But if you wanted to, you could. So you could always pause this video and experiment with that if you like. I'm going to make mine match what I've done on the bottom, so it's going to be pretty simple. And then I'm going to go ahead and go all the way up and around the shoulder, and I'm going to use my time machine. Be right back. Alright, so a little further along here, and I'm going to worry about my tail a little later. Just tucking back that way. Alright, now to keep these wires back, keeping them from slipping forward like this, I want them back more to the other end. So that is going to require the use of my back wires. And how I end up putting them in. So if I want them to hang back a little more, put a little bit of, or well, a lot of pressure right there. Let you get out of my way. Put my fingernail down through here where I want it to bend. You guys come forward. Even though we have tools, sometimes you just need to get things started with something a little more familiar. There we go. And you too, come on. There we are. Okay. Now, when I lash all of these guys together here, these guys being so short is what's going to keep everything more towards the back of this piece. And there's that. So, coming along, it's getting there. So I'm going to fast forward and lash everybody together on the back, well, all the way around completely. So I will be right back. Time machine number 2. All right, we're all tied up right there, and I bent these guys back to get them out of my way for this next part. Now, don't need all of these to turn into the hoops on the top here, so I'm just selecting out the longest ones, but I do want them to be fairly even on either side. So it looks like maybe just those 3. 1, 2, 3. And yeah, want to make this just a little bit longer, so that way I can put a little hoop over on the other side. Whee! Around we go. Yay! And this guy's going to get fairly hidden, so I'm going to leave him be for the moment. And no, he's not going to end up. Out of my way, you. Move over here, and I'm just gonna lightly tuck him in towards the middle, just so that way, you know, no pointy bits that can possibly pop up. So he's just rounded on the inside there. And let me get my hooper, and that guy ought to be more than enough. There we go, for a nice little hoop in the top. Yep, a little bit further out. There we go. A little further out still. Alright, and that. And then this guy. Do him right about there. Yep. And there's that. Alright. Bring him all the way around back to the front. Running through all of these guys. All right. I'm just grabbing that guy right there. Bring him around the front. Smush. Everybody going to smush. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to just roll him backwards. That just kind of mimics what we got going on around the other side, so that way if it does end up being something that's visible, it'll look like it belongs without it being a pointy end sticking out somewhere. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to redo this one. He's in a bit of a different spot than the other two. So normally when I want to redo a hoop, you might be noticing me doing this but not realize what I'm doing here, or those that just may not get it. When I've made this hoop, I'm grabbing a hold of him in a different area. Where I made this guy, I had a hold of him at the top. I'm grabbing hold of a different area, unwinding him, and then rewinding him back. Since I got a hold of him in a different area, it gives me a little bit more slack. There. A lot more even though the one in the middle is the taller one. I don't mind that. Alright. Now, grab and rotate. Now, go. rotate him underneath. There we go. Looks a little better. Now, to try to get this to look like this wire over here, I need to bend him inwards. So what I'm doing is grabbing hold of this guy and I'm putting pressure and force going back up this way, so that way I still get this bend, this crease. Makes it feel like it mimics the other side. And tuck you back in where you belong. Yay. All right. There. Quite happy with that. And if you're wondering how I did the hammering on this, I'm more than happy to make a video on it if there's people out there that want to see that. But basically, verbally letting you know how this part got done, I just folded these guys back, because this part's kind of like a hinge, pretty much. Folded these guys back, made the shape I want, and then just put it on the bench block and start hammering the piece, and then fold it back over. This corner takes a little bit of finagling to get it to behave the way you will more than likely want it to, because you need to bend it around here, and because I did hammer it, I still wanted it to feel wide or different from the rest of the wire, the round wire. So he's not going to form perfectly to it quite so much. I can work on him still by putting this end on the edge here and working a little bit that way. Like I said, since this is polymer clay, I don't have to worry about him busting so much. But it does absorb a ton of the impact. So I'm going in this direction. You can kind of see a little bit. I'm not just coming straight down. I'm going this way because I'm trying to direct the metal to go in this direction to fold over. Yeah, that won't work. Why I thought it would, but you know. Yeah. Well, I'm still happy with it either way. So there's that part. Now for the back. Give it a little love and attention. So, let's see here. Sure you're in the proper place, and give you a little love. reshape those. And get this guy to go down in there a little more like how I want him to. There we go. Bring that back up to the proper shape. There. I really don't think this guy's very long to be able to do much of anything with him, so I'll just go ahead and you want to leave yourself just a little bit so that way you have enough to be able to hide them, because this is a this isn't silver wire. This is all, well, it's silver wire, it's silver plated, so even if I snipped it real down close in here, you're still going to see a copper end on it, and we don't want that. I'm going to just tuck him in right around there. And there we have it. Corners. I do hope that this is what I was asked for. If this isn't, please feel free to post me a picture more based on what it is that you were thinking of when you said a square piece and getting the corners. Your biggest thing for your corners, though, is going to be pretty much this guy, because you can fold it around that nice corner, a nice hard corner. And I'm going to have a little shaping yet to do with my friend here, and there's still enough give back here that I could do a few little things to kind of mirror the front, not nearly to that extent, but just a little bit. Let's see here. So too hard there. I have to touch that back up. Too much in some areas, not enough in others. some shapes similar to what's on the front. Regardless, the important part is that it does hold the back in, and there's definitely no place this sucker is going to go without some wire cutters or some very deliberate destruction. And destruction's always fun, as we all well know. All right, everyone. That's it for this one. Please let me know of anything else you would like to learn about. I also was thinking that since Christmas has happened, it'd be lovely to hear what toys everybody's gotten to play with for Christmas this year. I know I definitely have gotten a few goodies. I've actually gotten enough stuff that I could do maybe something on soldering for you all. A little tutorial for that. It's a great deal of fun. It's not nearly as hard as what most people think it is. So yeah, let me know in the comments section what else you would like to learn. Also, let me know in the comments section what toys you're playing with for Christmas, because we all know toys make the world go round. And please like, subscribe, visit me on my Etsy channel if you'd like to support me. I don't have a Patreon. I'd rather give people something rather than just asking for money for nothing. Let me know what you guys think, and you all have a wonderful day, and thank you for coming and hanging out. Bye!